Welcome on into a Tuesday edition of Sports Memo. Today, you know what we're here for, a little actionable information in 30 minutes or less on a $2 Tuesday, which means we got the $5 triple play coming your way. And one of those cappers we're going to be talking to here right at the top, making his triumphant return. We'll be talking to Ronald Cabang, a little college basketball, a little NBA, also known as Capper. You can find him on YouTube as well, putting out great free content each and every day over at Capper. And then Jeff Michaels going to come on. Even though we're talking Eagles, Giants, we'll see what side he's on. A game that I'll be at this weekend. Am I going to be having some agita from Jeff's play, or am I going to be looking forward to it in that Birds and Giants game? Philadelphia on the sleeves through and through. We'll be talking some college basketball and that, of course, divisional round there. So we're excited to be with you. I'm your host, Dan Alexander. And as the weekly listeners will see, I'm on location a little bit. I don't have my usual sports book behind me. That's because I'm behind enemy lines in New York, trying to find any dirt I can on this New York Giants team to give my Birds a little bit of an edge. So we'll see. I'll circle back on Thursday, let you know if I found anything worth note for you bettors out there. But as I mentioned, $2 Tuesday over at Wager Talk. Teddy Covers has an NBA play, and right here at Sports Memo, you can up the ante. Just $5 will get you a college basketball play from Matt Josephs, NFL play from Eric Pauly, who hit over 60% in the NFL this year. And then we got an NBA play from my man, Capper. That's Ronald Cabang, who's joining me right now here on the show. Head on over to his page, sm.buzz/RC, and you can grab that best bet right this moment. But Ronald, it's always great when I get to see your face, brother. How you been since we talked last? Things been running well? I know you, much like many NBA bettors, have had the ups and downs, but that just means we have a good run right around the corner. How's it been, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I think since I last been on the show, conference play in the college basketball has been going well for me. And in the NBA, like you just said, up and down right now. And right now, hopefully, I'm at the valley, and I'm on my way up here. Going in the NBA, couple of the last plays really been hit with the whole injury report issue that we were just talking right before the show. You know, sometimes some of these players are not even on the injury report when we do our research at night. And then the next thing you know, after we play our game, they're downgraded to questionable or even out prior to the game. So it's been a tough ride with those types of plays, but we gotta ride on it. It is a full season. We still got like the second half here to go. We haven't even reached the All-Star game. So hopefully we hit our stride here.
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like it was about a year and a half ago that we had you on to kick off the NBA season, and we're not even past the midway point. So luckily, we don't have to deal with the same type of injury report woes when we're looking at the hardwood in college basketball. So why don't we start there? 7 p.m. Eastern time tip. We got Creighton. They're laying the road chalk as they're visiting Butler. Looks like they're up to about a 7-point favorite, ticking up from the opener of 6. So that means some money coming in on the Blue Jays there. You agreeing with that move? How are you going to be betting this one, Ronald?
I definitely agree with the move there. I actually gave this out to clients last night I think it was at 6.5 when I got it last night. So I feel like it's moving in the right direction. Creighton right now, they're coming off of a nice win over Providence on Saturday. They've actually failed to cover in 4 of their last 5 games. But if you look at it at a more detailed level, all 4 of those non-covers were actually by 2 points or less. They've held their opponents under their team total in 6 of their last 7 games as well. So they're getting it done on the defensive side of the ball. From a spread perspective, it doesn't look like they've done well in conference games, 2-5 ATS. But like I said earlier, 4 of those ATS losses missed by less than 2 points. If Creighton is the favorite in the conference game, they are today. They are actually 4-0 straight up with an average full game margin of plus 16.3 in the full game. On the other side, Butler has been struggling in conference games this season, 3-5 straight up, 2-5-1 against the spread, averaging just 62.9 points per game, allowing 70.4 per game in that spot. But if Butler is a dog of 3 or more in conference games, 0-4 straight up, 0-4 ATS, 4-0 to the under, and they're not scoring at all. 53.5 points per game in that spot, allowing 74.8. That's a 21.3 minus 21.3 gap on the full game in that spot there. if Bates is out for Butler, Manny Bates, their big guy, Creighton's gonna have a field day in the paint here. And to me, even if he's in, he's playing hobbled. He has a hurt knee right now, so I think Creighton wins this one by double digits with a balanced attack. Five of their starters actually average double digits. And right now, to me, in this case here, I think they get that done tonight again. I think all five starters hit the double digit mark, at least 10 points each. Give me Creighton minus the points here. I think they do win it by double digits.
Yeah, and great breakdown there on the game, and you get a little taste for the analytical style that Ronald brings to his handicaps there. A little situation, some trends backing it up, and then, of course, day-to-day data going in as well. You can grab that $2 play on the hardwood in the professional side of things, an NBA play for just $2 right over at sportsmemo.com. Make it nice and easy. Go to UCappers page, sm.buzz/RC, and you find all great kind of deals there, including that $2 play. So speaking of the NBA, let's go there. The thorn in our side all year long, but we got to keep on keeping on, brother. It'll turn around here. And one of your favorite things is using these different trends, these different angles that you come to the show with, and the way you approach looking at these games with, and using them to apply to totals, which might not be as tough pre-flop with this injury report. And you have a game that you're eyeing tonight. It's Rip City, Portland taking on Denver. Total is floating around 238.5. So fingers crossed we know everything there is about the injuries. But as far as the total goes, Ronald, where are you going in this one?
Yeah, actually, totals this season has been actually the more profitable side as far as what I've been betting so far this season. The last two seasons, I was number one in the NBA a couple seasons ago. I think last season I was either second or third. And for the most part, it was because of the spreads keeping me up. But this season, it's kind of flip-flopped. I've been doing really well in totals this season. So hopefully I continue to go in that direction here. For many reasons, I like the under here. I think for one, you've seen the total go from 233.5 open to 238.5 here. I think it's moved a little bit too much. On the Blazers side, they're on a 2-game winning streak, both games to the Mavs, back-to-back home games there. And then they got this one-off road game against the Nuggets where they got to go into Denver with the elevation. And a lot of teams struggle when they travel into that location there, just going from one road game to another. This is also for a third game in 4 nights is for them as well, so the schedule spot isn't really that great. Nuggets on a 6-game winning streak. This is the second game of a 5-game homestand, first leg of back-to-back games for them as well, so they got a game tomorrow against the Wolves. From an injury perspective, Winslow out, Gary Payton is probable for the Blazers. On the Nuggets side, Jeff Green out, Bones Highland questionable, Jamal Murray is probable, so we should see him on the court tonight. From a matchup perspective, Nuggets, they lead the matchup on the season 2-1, but the Blazers have covered 2 of the 3 matchups, which happen to be both home games. From a trend perspective, this is where it gets kind of more, I guess, noticeable for the under here. From a trend perspective, the Blazers, they've lost and failed to cover in 4 straight road game situations, and it's road dog situations, and it's primarily due to their inefficient offense in that spot. On the season altogether, 6-1 to the full game under as road dogs versus teams with a winning record. So teams that are in the higher tier level, they really either struggle offensively and hold down on the defensive side of the ball. On the Nuggets side, I noticed that they do really well when they play at least their second home game in a row. So I looked more into that stat. They're actually 10-0 straight up, 8-1-1 ATS, 6-3-1 to the under. And it's primarily due to their defense. They're only allowing 107.7 points per game in that spot. Nuggets as well, 4-1 straight up and against the spread, 3-1-1 to the under on the first leg of back-to-back games. And like I said, it's primarily due to their defense here. They're really an efficient offense, but one thing that I do know is that they lost to this Wolves team that they play tomorrow just not too long ago, and they lost by a double digits there. So there could be a chance that the Nuggets really take care of business here in the first half and let go a little bit in the second half. So their offense might struggle in the second half, but they continue to limit this Blazers team. If we look at the last 10 games, both squads are actually top 10 in defensive rating. To me, I think it's going to be a slow-paced, defensive-minded game from both sides of the ball here. And I think the total has gone up too much. I think 238.5, we take the under there.
Ronald saying keep that over money coming because we're swooping in on the under when Portland and Denver are facing off tonight in the NBA. Ronald, we mentioned that you're one of our $2 Tuesday handicappers. So when people go to grab that page over at your, or grab that play over at your page at sportsmemo.com, what other kind of stuff are they going to find, and how can they ride with you heading on through both of these great seasons, both in the NBA and college basketball?
Yeah, I got 3 plays up right now in college basketball. I had them up last night, so we in a couple of the games we got pretty good line value there. And I did give out that Creighton game as one of them, so that is a premium play. I do have my NBA 5% 5 unit play, the $2 Tuesday play on a total. And like I mentioned earlier, totals are what's been keeping me up in the at least in the NBA so far this season. So hopefully we continue to win in that side, and then we bring back up the spread as we close out the season. But right now, the totals are what's helping me out, and we're gonna stick with that until we get hot in the NBA. And that's pretty much it on the premium side right now.
You love to see it. That's my man Ronald Cabang making his triumphant return here on Sports Memo today, and mentioned some great deals that we have running over there. Currently running through this Sunday at midnight, January 22nd. NBA, college basketball, even some of our NHL cappers, Don Buster, we talked to last week. You can take that all the way down to just $2.99 from $4.59. No coupon needed. So when you go and grab that $2 play, why not lock in the entire college basketball or NBA season through the championship with Ronald Cabang? Nice and easy right there. Another guy who's doing terrific on the hardwood on the college side of things is a recurring guest that we have here, Jeff Michaels, fresh off of a Vegas trip, and he loves the listeners so much that he said, forget it, I'm taking a red eye just so I can get back and be ready for Sports Memo today. Jeff Michaels, we appreciate it, man. How you been?
I can't complain. Flight home last night, overnight, nice and quiet and dark, gave me some extra time to look at this college basketball card today. So I'm looking forward to it today. Even though it's a slightly limited card, I like a couple options here and looking forward to some NFL this weekend.
Yeah, and he's going to give you two of those plays that he likes right here for free on the show. And just how much has he been diving into college basketball? Well, year to date, number 2 at Sports Memo. Overall, in the last 30 days, he has been seeing it number 1 in profit. College basketball last 30 days. Last week hasn't been bad either. Number 1 there. So you are seeing it. So let's see us cash some tickets tonight in an SEC showdown as Kentucky is taking on Georgia. Kentucky up to 11-point favorites in some spots. Totals moved down a little bit, so looks like some defense to be expected here in the SEC matchup. It started at 136.5. It's down to 133.5. But how are you going to be betting this one? We got a side play, total play, maybe a barking dog. What does Jeff Michaels think?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the points on the table here, so we're not totally rolling all the way with the dog, but I am back in Georgia on this one. At least against the spread, there's no question that they've been the hotter team. I mean, the Bulldogs have covered 4 straight, 7 out of their last 8, and 9 out of their last 11. And sure, if we look back to the last game, Kentucky looked pretty good. They were 11-point underdogs against Tennessee, but that's the first game they've covered since November. So they've failed to cover 10 straight games prior to that game against Tennessee. And even with Kentucky's impressive history over the past couple of years, this Georgia team actually has the edge head to head. They're 26-23 against the spread when playing Kentucky, but they're 15-7 on Kentucky's home court. So they're covering the spread at an even better pace playing on the road against this Wildcats team, who this season has obviously struggled. As we've seen, they're 1-4 against the spread in conference play. They've failed to cover 6 straight home games, and they're just 3-12 against the spread in the last 2 years after holding an opponent to 60 points or less. So then you got a Georgia team that's 5-2 against the spread on the road, and they're 4-0 against SEC opponents. And that Georgia team has a quiet defense that has been impressive, and I think that's where this total is kind of coming into play here. They're holding SEC opponents 63.5 points per game, 38.8% shooting. I think they match up well. They can limit the outside shooting in this one, but they do have the height, the depth, and the length to be able to stop this Kentucky team inside. So taking 11 points with Georgia, I think is a good bet tonight.
Looking at the Georgia Bulldogs, not going to call for the outright upset, but hey, you never know. Grab the points, and maybe we'll end up leaving them at the door. But all right, so that's what you're thinking in college basketball. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry, I was just gonna say too. I did give that one out to my clients. I actually gave it out this morning at 10.5. So I'll say if you're seeing it at 10.5, still I'm still backing it at 10.5. But hey, if you can find an 11, all for it.
Always grab the extra half point when you can, because Jeff, we've all been burned by the half points. You never remember the ones you win by the half points, but you damn sure remember the ones that you lost. So, hey man, let's get into this NFL slate, and we'll start with a game that is near and dear to my heart. I think one of your favorite things on Sports Memo Today is coming on and fading newbie, is what we'll call it. You come on, you take the opposite of whatever Philadelphia team it is, and it seems like you're always cashing. So I'm going to be at this game Saturday night. It's an NFC East rivalry, round 3. Everybody says you can't beat the same team 3 times in a season. I believe since the merger, teams are 15-9 straight up playing a team for the 3rd time. So that's just straight up. We're talking spread here. My Philadelphia Eagles, 7.5-point favorites as they're facing off against the New York Giants. And Jeffrey, I teed you up, man. Tell me why this dog is barking.
I still think Philadelphia is going to live to see another day here.
All right,
but
good.
With the points there, I'll give you one. Since 2010, a single-digit underdog coming off an upset win in the postseason, 23-10 against the spread with 7 straight wins. So not only does that point towards these Giants this weekend, a little free tidbit, it points towards Jacksonville too. So, hey, who knows? But for this Giants game, guys, I mean, we've seen these Giants just be underdogs all year, and there's no better way to put it. I mean, they're 11-2 against the spread as an underdog, and they're 14-4 against the spread on the season. These Giants have covered 5 straight games in 7 out of the last 8. And Philly's failed to cover the last 4, which, sure, some of them were without Jalen Hurts, but not all of them. And does that really benefit you right now? Obviously, he's the better quarterback, but Jalen Hurts is 2-4 against the spread in his career against the Giants. So not the best record when looking at him against a team individually. And this Giants team has gotten it done on both sides of the ball. I mean, their offense has been able to at least take advantage of the worst defenses. They're 11-2 against the spread versus defenses that are allowing 61% or better completion. And they're 11-3 against the spread versus teams that are passing for 61% or better. So their defense is shutting down the best offenses, and their offense may not be able to take down the best defenses in the league, but they're definitely holding their own with a lot of these teams and getting it done on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, they're 9-2 against the spread against teams with winning records this season. And the Giants actually have a better against the spread record in the division this season. They're 4-2, and Philly's 3-3 against the spread. And like I said, Jalen Hurts isn't in the best situation playing against a team, whereas surprised me even a little bit. But Daniel Jones is 17-8 against the spread on the road in his career, 16-6 against the spread as a road dog. So getting over a touchdown here, I think I got to be looking at the Giants.
Yeah, and we talked about winning and losing by a hook. That's a play that I would be just fine if you won that one by a hook. So I will say, Jeff, Eagles in this Giants rivalry, like a lot of people are going to be heading into this game saying, Giants are due for an outright win. And you hear that all the time. Due, what does it mean? You can't quantify it. Eagles 15-3 straight up since 2014 against these Giants. However, if you look at those games, the Eagles would have covered just 4 times at this current number in those 18 meetings. So history says when these teams play, it's a war. Let's grab the points. And maybe even this Eagles fan might have a Giants plus 7.5 ticket in his pocket come Saturday. Jeff, let people know what's over at your site, sm.buzz/JMS. What are they going to find over there? And of course, thanks for filling in for us here on Sports Memo Today.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, guys, you actually got one of my two college basketball plays right here for you today. I do have a 4 unit play up there as well. As Dan mentioned, number 2 year to date college basketball, number 1 in the last 30 days, and we're 8-3 in the last 11. So, liking what we're seeing there, like I said, 2 games on the card for tonight, and I should have my NFL up by tonight or tomorrow morning. So I got my eye on a couple of games outside of that Giants game too. So check back there tomorrow morning for some playoff action this weekend.
He's Jeff Michaels, not only doing the tough work, getting off a flight back from Vegas to hop on the show, giving you some client releases there as well. So always appreciate having my man JM Sports on the show. It was nice having Ronald Cabang back here as well. Again, that special running through this Sunday. Don't miss out on it because both of these guys are capping the hardwood for you. So if you're getting the post-football blues, get taken care of with a $2.99 special. Just go to your favorite handicappers page. You'll see it loaded there. NHL, college basketball, NBA. Ride with them through the championship game for a terrific discount. So that's going to do it for us. Big thanks to Jeff. He fades my Philly teams every single time. He cashed with the Houston Astros in the World Series. Now he's looking to cash in the divisional round, but we'll still have him back here. Huge thanks to him. Huge thanks to Ronald Cabang. And as always, a terrific job from my producer, Eric, doing a great job keeping me on the road here to bring you actionable information in 30 minutes or less. We'll be back here on Thursday for Customer Appreciation Day. What's that all about? You'll find out Thursday right here on Sports Memo Today.